Hello, fire signs. This reading is for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We are going to do a collective message for all fire signs, and we will clarify the cards for each individual fire sign. There will be time stamps in a pinned comment on this video. Let's jump right in, fire signs. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, fire signs. We have death coming out first. This is the Four of Spades. And, you know, this is definitely a heavy energy, but this is your strength. So I do feel like, you know that in the past here, there was a change that needed to be made. And this is not something that could happen overnight. This is not a situation where you had all of the information that you needed. We have the Three of Diamonds coming out. So I see my fire signs really going through a time right now where you could be focused on the material world, on possessions. You could feel like there are a lot of things that you need. You know, you're wanting to expand your comfort in the current moment. All right. And a lot of this is because you've been really overburdened. You've been trying to reach a goal. For some of you, you could be furnishing a home. All right. But I definitely feel like you've had to take a step back and rest and process information here. And there is a lot of information to process with the Ten of Clubs. All right. I definitely feel like a lot of my fire signs are really tired right now. I do feel like you kind of have a lot to show for your tiredness because, you know, I do feel like you're moving through this time where you're making things really nice and comfortable for yourself. So whether that is actually by buying new furniture or things for your home, or it could be something else, but you are investing in your comfort here. All right. We have the Ace of Hearts coming out. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy. This is you being full of love. This is your internal energy. This is you cleansing from past hurt, past disappointments. I feel like this is you letting go of unanswered questions, of situations where you maybe didn't get closure. This is you detaching from all of it and just freeing yourself so that, you know, you can be a channel for love in this world. Okay, that's a really beautiful thing. And another ace, the Ace of Diamonds. This is the World. So, you know, there is a whole new world right now for you to explore. And the world looks a lot different to you right now than it has in the past because you've been going through so much. You've been carrying so many burdens. You've been focused in these books and this information in the mind. And you know, it's kind of pushed you into this energy where you had to create something different for yourself. And, you know, right now there is nothing but a world of opportunity around you to create whatever it is that you want. Okay? We have the Queen of Hearts, the High Priestess coming out, and this is your advice. And I love this High Priestess. I mean, this High Priestess is Elizabeth Bennet herself, so we love that. And I definitely feel like my fire signs here are very intuitive and also very intelligent. And this is you embracing all aspects of yourself, embracing who you are, loving yourself, and showing up very confidently in who you are, and also being incredibly discerning about who you're sharing what with. I definitely feel like this era that you are entering into is very sacred to you, and you are going to, again, be discerning with who you share what with. However, I do feel like there are so many options that you are going to be exploring new love options, whether that is romantic or platonic. But, you know, you're in this very secure energy where you're grounded and able to listen to your intuition and make really solid decisions for yourself. So, you know, make sure you are checking in with your intuition. Don't get lazy on the spiritual practices right now, because you've really gotten yourself to this point, and now it's just maintaining and, you know, making sure that you're really taking care of yourself spiritually. So I love this, really spiritual, really beautiful, and I'm so excited to see how this is going to play out when we clarify with the Dreams of Gaia deck for all signs. And we are going to get into it right now for Aries. All right, Aries, let's clarify these cards. Let's see what additional messages want to come out specifically for my Aries placements. All right. Clarifying death, the Four of Spades. You know, you definitely went through something, and, you know, in recovering from whatever it was that you've went through here, you have become much more aligned. You know, I feel like you value the love that you give more than you did in the past, right? So I feel like there was a situation where maybe, you know, you felt like you offered something and it was rejected, and you could have had to go through a whole internal journey, especially if you never got closure on a situation here. You know, you may have questioned if it was worth it to offer your love. And I do feel like the conclusion that you reached is that it's always worth it to give our love. And, you know, that love is going to come back to you. I definitely feel like you are in this moment closing out a cycle, because, you know, when someone else didn't honor your heart, it forced you to honor your heart. And that forced you into an alignment that you may have been sort of resisting, right? So that's a really beautiful thing here for my fire signs. And we are now going to clarify the Three of Diamonds. We have the Ace of Fire. And I know I said fire signs again, but this is for my Aries placements. All right, and Aries, we are clarifying with this Ace of Fire. Grateful hearts get what they desire, and I do feel like your desire right now is for some material things. Like, there's some things you want and there's some things you need. And with this Ace of Wands, I really feel like you are determined, and there is opportunity right now for you to really assert yourself in such a way to achieve a certain goal here, or at least to plant the seeds that will help you to achieve this goal in the future. All right, this opportunity is available to you because of what you are letting go of. So do not hold on to other people's burdens, or, you know, don't be like adding busy work to your day. And, you know, try not to procrastinate either. This is about staying busy so that you can manifest the results that you want. This is you continuing to move on the goal. This is not you exhausting yourself. This is you waking up, making healthy choices that are going to sustain you to do your best throughout the day, and then be able to also leave some time for yourself at the end of the day to think, to reflect, to observe what's going on in your life, right? This is the card of thought, and it's definitely necessary for you to have some time to unpack, release before you go to bed. Before you go to bed, you know, give some space to those thoughts that are running through your mind throughout the day so that you're not taking that into your sleep with you, okay? Really important stuff here for Aries. Clarifying the Ace of Hearts for Aries, we have the Seven of Earth. So right now, Aries, I definitely feel like there is a lot of anger within you, right? Things haven't worked out for you in all of the ways that you deserve. All right, now you're still very abundant. There's still been a lot of growth. We have these apples growing in the tree, and you know, I do feel like you are building healthy pathways in the mind, and you are releasing this rage, but this, you know, I'm being drawn to the fire on these shoulders, and I feel like there is a lot of rage that you're releasing. So it is important, Aries, that you do not get lazy on the spiritual practices, like taking time to really ground yourself in the here and now, right? Working with the chakras here. And I love the snake. It's the year of the snake right now. And some of you could have the snake in your Chinese zodiac. And so this is a very important year for you. And you are, you know, releasing any anger, any bitterness, any resentment, so that you can show up in love, right? So that you can show up as you are. Birds are a sign for you right now. All right, and that showed up in my collective reading too. We have the King of Earth coming out, clarifying the world. This could be a new job opportunity, a new opportunity for you to gain some sort of skills that are going to move you up in the world. For some of you, this could be a partner, but I feel like this is your energy. You are embodying this King of Earth, and you are stepping into, you know, a higher position, a more respected position. You're going to be moving through your world with more self-respect, valuing yourself, your skills. And we have the Mother coming out, clarifying the High Priestess. So, you know, your advice right now is to really embody and embrace your magic, your creativity. And it's so important that we do continue the spiritual practices, right? So that we are in a place where we can hear our intuition, right? If you're not releasing and grounding, then your emotions and your anxieties are going to be a lot louder than your intuition is. So you definitely want to make sure that you are, you know, taking that time to ground, to take care of yourself, to take care of your responsibilities, to take care of those around you. You know, within reason. I'm saying you don't want to overburden yourself, because you've done that too, but sometimes we overburden ourselves with procrastination or with spending more time trying to get out of doing something than we would spend if we actually did it. And I really do feel that, you know, you do need to sit and think, Aries, about what you're willing to give certain people in your life, right? If there's someone who needs help, maybe someone like chronically needs help, and you know that you need boundaries, or maybe there's several people in your life that need help, and you know that, you know, there's some people that are important for you to continue to maintain a relationship, and there's some people where it's one-sided and that's not important to you anymore. So this is about you having time to really think, you know, think things through. But this isn't in a way of like overthinking. This is really just, you know, posing a question to yourself and then seeing how it feels in the body and then moving forward. one step at a time, slow and steady. All right, let's see. Let's get some oracle messages here for you, Aries. We have get funky, so definitely a need to have a little fun. Creativity, like, is a definite strong message in this reading. Connecting with your creativity, it is not only healing, but it helps you to be in alignment. It helps you to balance your emotions, and it helps you to connect with your intuition and get the answers that you need. All right, I'm also getting a message though, but don't force yourself to be creative, right? Let it flow out of you naturally in the moments when it wants to come. Be prepared for the creativity to come, because it will come. The waves are going to come to you. But this isn't about forcing it. It's about taking care of yourself, and that way you'll be ready when the opportunities arise. Last card, we have set your sights higher, increase your standards, and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. That's right, Aries. Do not settle. I see you filling the shoes here of the King of Earth, and you know, those are big shoes to fill. The King of Earth really gets it done. The King of Earth is moving, making moves, making money, making a home. You know, this is someone who really makes it happen, and that is you. So do not lose sight in who you are and accept less than what you deserve for a moment, Aries. I love you. That is the message I have for you. Until we meet again, take care. All right, let's get into it for Leo. All right, Leo. Happy birthday, Leo. My mom's a Leo, and it was her birthday today. Let's see, what does Leo need to know for their highest and best? This message is for Leo. Clarifying the Four of Spades with the King of Air. All right, so Leo, I really feel like you see things for what they are, and you know, you're very fair. You see things from everybody's point of view. I do feel like my Leos that are tuning into this reading, you may judge harshly at times, but I feel like you try not to, you know, spout your mouth off recklessly. You try to give understanding to everybody around you. This is a strength, but you see BS from a mile away. All right, clarifying the Three of Diamonds. We have the Three of Water. Let me get a little drinky drink. So 2 threes here. I definitely see that you are in a time right now, Leo, where you are opening up. You're trying to build a foundation in your life so that things can be more emotionally fulfilling for you. I feel like for some of my Leos, you are really wanting to have fun, but at the same time, it's like there's these emotions that have been keeping you chained. I see you freeing yourself in this moment, but this has been difficult. This has been an ongoing situation where you've been overburdened with this 10 of Clubs that we are clarifying with love. Okay, wow. Leo, this is really beautiful. I do feel like I'm dealing with some Leos who are incredibly wise, and you know that love is the most important thing. You are a very loving person. And what is changing right now is that you are becoming more loving as you allow yourself to set down all these burdens and expectations that you put on yourself, right? You don't need to read all 10 of these books. You know, I feel like you could set goals for yourself, Leo, that are so much, right? I don't want to say they're unattainable, but like they're unattainable with the methods that you're using, right? Like the goal, the vision might be achievable, but you trying to burn yourself out to get there is unsustainable, so therefore makes your vision more unachievable, right? So very interesting here, Leo. Let's keep going, clarifying the Ace of Cups for Leo. We have the King of Earth and the Six of Water for you, Leo. So I love this because I feel like you are, you know, really tapped in to your abundant spirit at this time. I feel like you are definitely asserting yourself in a way, which could feel scary, which could have you feeling confused. Just emotionally, this is about you kind of walking with the confidence that you need to achieve something, even if you're shaking inside, right? So this may be where you don't necessarily have that confidence yet, but you're going to fake it until you make it. You're going to be the King of Earth. You're going to show up like you're the most skilled one, like you have a lot of experience, because truly you do. You have a lot of life experience, and that can be helpful in any area that you go in, right? Because the things that you've learned have made you more wise and flexible and able to move in a focused way. Okay, so really beautiful stuff here for you, Leo. I see you coming out very strong and very much exactly where you need to be right now. Clarifying the World is knowledge. So I do feel like there is an opportunity here, Leo, for you to share your knowledge with the world. So this is very big. For some of you, this could be huge, right? You're sharing your knowledge with the world. This could be you reaching a lot of people. This is 2 major arcana. So, you know, I love this, Leo. I feel like this is an incredible reading, and I hope that it is resonating for you. Now, your advice with the High Priestess and the 5 of Fire is a bit interesting. It's almost like I see you here, like if you look at the face here, like you're seeing something out of the corner of your eye. And I do feel like your advice here is do not get involved in some sort of competition or argument, but do observe. You know, I feel like you're the silent observer of a conflict here. And, you know, that's really all you can do is witness the situation and observe and take that information, right? Listen to your intuition, see something for what it is. You know, if you're feeling like something, like, you know, if someone invites you somewhere and you're like, oh, I just feel like it's going to be drama, I feel like it's going to be arguments, you know, trust yourself. And it don't mean that you need to stay home and not be a joiner, and anytime you think that things aren't going to go exactly how you want it to, you just don't show up. But it's saying that, you know, you can have a plan of action on how you're going to put up boundaries in the moment if things, you know, get to a point that makes you feel extremely uncomfortable, right? And this is also you just knowing that something is petty. And so, like, if you just know that something is petty, do not give it your energy. That is your advice. Like, see something for what it is and trust that you are seeing it for what it is, and do not give it energy. All right? Like, it's funny, my mom was just saying today that sometimes people try to gossip to her and she never gets the full story because she won't dare let them think that she's interested in it, right? And I kind of love that. It's like, you know, yeah, to let someone, you know, if someone brings something up and you're like, oh yeah, tell me more. It's almost like you're condoning their gossip. So I was like, okay, I got respect for that. You're not condoning the gossip and you're not letting them, you know, think that you want to know their opinion on a situation that they heard from Tom, who heard it from Dick, who heard it from Harry. Right. Let's get some oracle cards here. Leo, we have honor routine. So, you know, things could be taking a minute to manifest here. And you could be tempted to overwork, to try to push it. Don't. Relax. Sit on your furniture. What do you have furniture for if you never sit down and sit on it? Right? Time to make a little pot of tea. Sit down. Relax. Trust that what is for you will not miss you. And, you know, trust that supporting yourself and honoring routine and having a healthy routine is the best thing you can do for your goals, for your family, for anything, right? Take care of you first, and then everything else will just pour right out of you. All right. Last card over this reading is soulmate relationship. New romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. I love that card. Also, you know, honor routine, because you could be meeting somebody and maybe you're going to meet them at the coffee shop you go to every single day or the bar you go to every Thursday. You know, whatever resonates for you. That is your reading, Leo. I hope it did resonate and I hope it helped. Get a little drinky drink and then we will get into it for Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Let's see, what does Sagittarius need to know right now? All placements of Sagittarius. Clarifying death with the Sage here. Very interesting. I was just thinking of our collective reading where we pulled the Scribe. And that's different. But it kind of threw me off here. So pulling it back in. So we have the Sage. You're very wise. I feel like you have chosen to not engage in a situation here, right? Because you needed some time to gain more wisdom, to, you know, gain more insight. You know, it's interesting because I'm just seeing this fire. And I feel like you wanted to gain more insight, but I don't know where this insight is coming from, right? So, you know, I just want to say for some of my Sag, if you're not connecting spiritually to God, divine, the universe, whatever you want to call it, then this insight is going to be difficult for you to find. You know, I feel like some of you on this path to wisdom have really been burned. I do feel like, you know, you do have this one loyal companion here with you, and, well, you have two, right? But one of these companions is the wisdom that you have gained through the experiences that you've been through. You know, you're someone who could teach and guide other people, because you have been through a lot. And, you know, I do feel, I see kind of heroic energy coming out. The Hero and the Queen of Cups just wanted to jump out of the deck. So, very interesting, Sag. We're going to pull more cards. to get more insight, because I definitely feel like this is going to be a super deep read for you. Let's clarify the 3 of Diamonds. All right, so right now you are holding on tightly to your responsibilities, to your money, to any grudges that you could be holding. And I do feel like you're feeling the weight of this. You know that this is unsustainable, but you're still holding up this house. But the thing about this house is the bones aren't good. It's falling down. It's crumbling. The second you move your hands, it's all coming down. So, you know, really you're just prolonging the inevitable here, trying to hold up a situation, trying to hold back from a situation. What's the 10 of Clubs here for Sagittarius? You're overwhelmed with all of the information that you've gained, and you really don't know how to show up, right? With what you know now, it's like there's this challenge. You know, you're more aligned with your authentic self, but it's almost like you've never taken this person out in the wild. How is this newfound version of you going to interact with your old friends in your old situations? There could be a lot of fear of like, okay, is there other things in my life that need to change now that this thing's changing? All right, if I drop these burdens, you know, can I really drop this? It almost feels like all these burdens are who you think you should be, right? Maybe you read in a book that this is how you should be. And it's like, you know, you're trying to show up as your authentic self, but you're overwhelmed with a lot of different opinions and information about what is right. And so you're questioning, can I really show up and be authentic? And maybe, you know, you decided a long time ago that it really wasn't safe for you to show up authentic. For some of my Sag, you could have been going on like 5 to 15 years now where you've just, you know, kind of given up on even showing up authentically. Like, you're always wearing the mask, but this mask is getting heavier and heavier and harder to wear. You really do want to be free of it. And I do feel like you are freeing yourself. But if some of you are struggling, the path to getting free is really getting honest with yourself so that you can be in alignment, so that you can make sure that you're in the right place at the right time to get the right opportunity for you, to be around the right people for you to connect with. All right, clarifying the Ace of Cups for Sagittarius. We have the 4 of Water. You are good enough. And we have faith. All right, so I'm definitely now hearing that song in my head. Have a little faith in me. I've been loving you for such a long time, girl, expecting nothing in return, just for you to have a little faith in me. Yep, that's what I'm hearing. And I really do feel like you're overwhelmed with emotion here, Sag. You could feel like you are not good enough. You could look in the mirror and say, what does anybody see in me? But you have to have a little bit of faith. Faith in you. Faith in the people you're connecting with, right? You have to have a little faith. And it actually, you know, I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. I you know, have it on my Manifesting Love playlist, because I think that that's one of the biggest challenges in love, and it can be one of the biggest, it can be something that hurts you so much as well when someone doesn't have faith in you, right? Because if someone's going to, instead of having faith in someone, sometimes you can be really disrespectful, right? Because you can allow your fears to have you sitting at home trying to convince yourself that someone who loves you is someone who is bad, right? And that's not really nice to that other person who is likely not bad, right? Nobody's perfect, but you know, everyone's trying their best just like you are, or most people are. But if you're approaching something as you already feel you're not good enough, you're already leading with your insecurities, right? You need to see yourself as beautiful, because there is someone who's going to even look at your scars, right? This person is scarred on their face and they feel like, what could anybody possibly see with me? Who could love someone with these scars? But this is all about faith, right? Really beautiful energy. You are connected to all things. You are deserving and worthy of love. And this is you really embodying and embracing this. This is you in this moment releasing these insecurities, cleansing yourself so that you can show up in the world here. We have intuition. You want to be able to hear your intuition. You want to be able to be guided by your intuition. And that means you got to tell those fears to shut up, right? We cannot have that. Some of you have some little father issues going on as well. But, you know, you need to look at your, you know, here's the thing. We can see something for what it is without demonizing someone and saying they're bad, right? Maybe you had a wild example for a father, right? You might have had a father figure in your life, even if it wasn't your father. This could be a boss. This could resonate for you differently. It's a general reading, but this is where I feel like you are observing your father, and you're not doing this to hurt yourself or so that you can say, oh, my dad was bad. Your father, this father figure, this person was doing the best that they could with the tools that they had. But now you have more tools than they had. So to, you know, honor yourself, to honor this father figure, to honor your lineage, your ancestors, all that came before you, you need to do better. You don't want to do the same. You don't want to follow someone's footsteps, right? You can take the good parts, and so this is you observing this father figure, or even just misogyny, masculinity in this world. This is you observing this and seeing what's good about it and what's bad about it. And for some of you, this is your father. You're saying, you know what, my father did these things that are good. These are good values I got from my father. My father also did this like effed up stuff. Like, I forgive him for that, but I do not want to be that person. And we're being very clear here, because we're creating the world that we want to live in. We're creating the world that we want our children to live in, if that's relevant. We're creating this world. You're a part of it, right? You are not apart from it. You are a part of it. And that means that you are very important. Do not ever get to thinking, I'm not enough, I'm not important, I'm not beautiful. Like, if you start getting into that, you are going to be hurting people, and you are going to be hurting the world. You are a part of the world, and you need to be doing your best, and you are doing your best. Okay? And you just got to keep doing that. And the more you believe in yourself, the bigger of an impact you can make. The more you take this time to observe and to release your fear, to release the fear of your father that you're probably carrying with you. And the mother just jumped out too, right? So for some of you, the mother-father dynamic, it left much to be desired in giving you an example on the world you want to create. All right, but sometimes a bad example is the best good example, right? Because you know what you don't want, and that's a good starting point. Clarifying the High Priestess with the King of Earth, Holy. What in the world? This is extremely beautiful energy. This is manifesting energy. This is, you know, every advice that I've given you, if you implement this advice, you're going to hear your intuition and you're going to be able to be guided by your intuition. Your intuition is going to guide you into massive fulfillment and clarity on your path that will allow you to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. All right. What you're not seeing here is love. Okay. And there is a connection here. I definitely feel like both people here are holding their hearts, and both people are the same yet different, right? So, you know, it could be difficult for you to see eye to eye with someone, and you could be saying like, this person's so different from me, but actually the reason you're having a hard time seeing eye to eye to this person is because they're really the same. And you're both holding your heart. And so I feel like you've both really probably had your heart hurt. So you're kind of like, you know, oh, I'm protecting my heart. And, you know, it is kind of a somber look on both of your faces. But you're still together here in this card. And the energy of love is here. And this is what you're not seeing. So you may not be seeing, you know, some sort of collaboration, connection, a loving connection here. You may not be seeing how this is going to come together or how there is going to be a specific movement with this love, but there is going to be transformation, and it's going to happen in a way that, you know, probably isn't what you expect or anticipate, because what you're about to experience, you've actually never experienced that before. All right. So for a lot of you, you know, you've had to go on this journey because when you're not confident in who you are, you're going to accept a lot less than what you deserve. And when what you truly deserve comes knocking at your door, you're going to blow it because you don't think that you deserve it. And you're going to push it away. But your advice here is to embody the confidence of someone who's going to claim what they deserve. And to move forward and claim what it is that you deserve. Okay, Oracle messages for Sagittarius. We have rise again. Okay, so if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. All right, 10 years could be significant. You've been in a cycle for 10 years. Think about the next 10 years of your life, right? How old are you right now? How old are you going to be in 10 years? All right, it's time to get real about what you want. It's time to get real about who you are and what you deserve, and rise again. We cannot hold on to the burdens from the past. This is changing. You don't need to wear this mask anymore. It is safe for you to show up and be authentic and be yourself. You've learned a lot. You can get out of a situation. You can get into a situation. You can get out, right? So we don't need to be fearful. We need to be strong and powerful. We need to move with intention. We need to have a plan. And we need to make that plan from a sound mind and a grounded, intuitive place, okay? Over this reading, we have self-employment. I love you're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. So, you know, as you're listening to your intuition, as you are really, truly being authentic, releasing the fear, you're going to be able to go toward bigger goals, and you're going to be this king of earth. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Until we meet again, take care.